The trust. Do we always get the desired and predicted result from everything we do? Of course not. Will we get what we want? The answer is no. But there is no problem. Because I have not based my self-esteem on the desired results, I have built my self-confidence on this fact to do what I can and know that is right and not give up. Just as I promised myself. Shakespeare, the great English poet and writer, said, "If you do not have one of the good virtues, pretend to have it." There is nothing wrong with trying to apply this to others. If others have the virtue you want, tell them openly. In other words, make others famous. Because then they will try to make themselves what you say they are. A famous proverb says, "If you want to kill someone, defame them." On the other hand, it should be said, if you want to serve someone, make him famous and see what the result will be. All people, rich and poor, honorable and unclean, wise and ignorant, old and young, want to be trusted by others. A guard should not speak in front of reckless prisoners. There is only one way to overcome a wrongdoer. To treat him as if he were an honorable man, said Laus. And that honorable person will be so pleased with this behavior that he may adapt to your imagination because he is proud to have found someone whom that person loves. As we have said, if you want to influence the behavior of others with your behavior and change them without hurting his feelings, use the following instructions. Give the other person a good reputation to make himself worthy of the good name you have given him. In this case, both sides have reached their goal. Self-confidence. Self-confidence is how you feel and judge yourself. This phrase describes your values, beliefs, and feedback. Although communication and experiences shape your values and feedback, in the end, it all depends on your attitude. Self-confidence expresses the value you place on yourself. You have acceptable self-confidence when you accept yourself as you are. Low self-esteem is the same feeling that makes you want to be someone else. The important thing is that self-confidence is not what others think of you. When others tell us we are good or bad, we are smart or stupid, we are worthy or not, it is very easy to accept their opinion. In this case, we believe we are valuable and credible only when we are encouraged and praised. The more encouragement we have, the more we feel valued. But the problem is that if our self-confidence increases as a result of the praise of others, we will have a problem when the encouragement stops or the criticism starts. At such times, we feel helpless because there is no one left to boost our self-confidence. On the other hand, in relation to others, self-confidence plays an important role. The more confident we communicate with others, the more we realize our weaknesses and benefit from communication. Those who lack self-confidence try to avoid relationships that may contain negative points, and as a result, many of their issues and problems remain hidden and are never revealed to them. True self-confidence is what affects our consciousness and our abilities. No matter how large, the number of capabilities and skills you can acquire in life is still limited. If you base your self-esteem on them, you will never be able to be truly confident, and only in those areas and talents will you feel secure. Think for a moment, have you ever had tremendous success you are happy with but still do not feel good about yourself? Let me give you an example. Suppose you like a particular job very much, and you want to get it in any way you can. You have arrived, you have found your favorite job, and you are very successful and capable in the eyes of others. However, you still do not feel good about yourself. You may ask yourself, what is going on? I worked hard all these years to get to where I am now. But now, I do not feel as strong and confident as I thought. I still feel the same way I always do. If self-confidence was the ability to earn a position or a job or to make money or something else, achieving that job, status or income should have given us a sense of confidence and self-confidence forever. But the fact is that confidence is not. Many of us end up getting the job, income, marriage, or house we always wanted, but we still do not feel confident and self-assured. True self-confidence has nothing to do with what happens outside of your life. True self-confidence is not the product of your job. True self-confidence is the result of your inner belief in your abilities. The belief that you can do whatever you want. True self-confidence is always generated from within you, not from outside. True self-confidence is born of your commitment to yourself. The commitment is that you will do whatever it takes to meet your wants and needs. Thus, self-confidence does not depend on the results you may or may not get. Confidence is your personal belief in your soul as a human being. The confidence that whatever happens in your life and you face any problems, you will do what you need. It does not matter where the work is done. The important thing is that you do it with complete desire. If you, as a person, have confidence in yourself and believe in yourself, you will take the necessary steps and achieve what you want. With that in mind, true self-confidence is not about your ability to act as a lawyer, a musician, a salesman, or anything like that. Rather, it is about trusting your ability to act and take action. Do you see the difference between the two? Confidence is also gained through work and the workplace. A work environment is where a person can find self-confidence because it is a place to manifest and reveal hidden abilities in a person. It is enough to accept responsibility. It is enough to love work and believe that through work and thinking about the set of problems and issues, we can, while enjoying work and the joys associated with it, we can also improve work. There are many questions and issues in the workplace to solve, improve, upgrade, and better manage in the areas of resources, time, cost, and quality. All of them need attention and focus on the investigation. Identify problems, and then seek individual or collective thinking to identify solutions. These things help people show their abilities and capabilities while working and gain self-confidence. My experience reveals a ridiculous point, says one of the world's most successful writers. Whenever I base my self-confidence on the response the world gives to my goals and dreams, it makes me feel less confident most of the time. I could never control the world's reaction to my desires and aspirations. Even theoretically, I could not expect to achieve everything I wanted consistently. Because basically, the world is never like this, and you can never count on the results. But there was one thing I could count on, and that was nothing but the commitment to myself. I could be honest with myself about my desires and goals and take action now to achieve them. I could count on my determination to do what I had to do. That's the only thing I can be sure of. Do we always get the desired and predicted result from everything we do? Of course not. Will we get what we want? The answer is no. But there is no problem. Because I have not based my self-esteem on the desired results, I have built my self-confidence on this fact to do what I can and know that is right and not give up. Just as I promised myself. This is another reason true self-confidence has nothing to do with your successes or failures. No matter how good you are at doing a particular job and being successful, you can only feel confident in that specific job. And when you want to start a new career, that is, a job where the skill you do not have much, your past self-confidence will not be of any use to you. My true self-confidence is born of desire and determination, not the results of my work. I am a person who trusts my will. I know that if I want to do something, I will learn how to do it right. I will try again and again. I will make mistakes and learn from them as long as I feel good when I do it. Even if what I did was an unprecedented success, success will still not be the primary source of my true self-confidence. My self-confidence stems from the fact that I have the determination to do whatever it takes to get what I want finally. When Graham Bell believed that he could record and play the human voice with a machine, he informed a model maker, drew the design with a pencil, gave it to him, and asked him to make it. The model maker looked at the design and said loudly, "Impossible." Graham Bell asked, "Why do you think it is not possible?" The model maker replied, "Because such a thing has never been made." "It's not a problem," Graham said. "Make a detailed example of this design." "Let me be the loser," Graham told the model maker. Mr. Graham, like many others, could have accepted the criticism and given up. But it did not. People who are confident in their ideas and do not give in to criticism and the impossible are far more helpful than people who lose confidence in one or two problems. The model was made, and it was bizarre and exciting for the manufacturer that the car worked in the first test. Self-esteem. Awareness that someone loves a person reassures him and motivates him to succeed in life. To value oneself, respect oneself, and accept oneself generally means having self-esteem. Honest communication with yourself, truth-telling, and the ability to love and cherish anything come from self-esteem. One who can endure the happiness of others has self-esteem. Loving yourself and being purposeful is a sign of self-esteem. One who values and credits others has self-esteem. After all, someone who considers himself important has self-esteem. Let's see what psychologists think about self-esteem. It lowers self-esteem, anxiety, and fear, Sullivan says. A good mental image of oneself leads to adaptation to the outside world, says Carl Rogers. A man who lacks self-esteem can never provide security for himself, says Abraham Maslow. If we do not have a sense of worth and importance in childhood and see ridicule, humiliation, discrimination, deprivation, and lack of love, we will not have enough self-esteem in adulthood. Feelings of helplessness, victimhood, repeated criticism, and rejection makes a child lack self-esteem in adulthood. So that the feeling of insecurity and insignificance will always accompany, perfectionistic, aggressive, and reproachful parents should be waiting for children without self-esteem. Therefore, we must remember not to treat our children in this way. We must note that self-esteem should not be confused with self-confidence. Often the two are considered one. While a person with self-esteem can also have self-confidence, someone who has gained self-confidence due to success in something or a profession and specialty cannot necessarily have self-esteem. Rational action, positive thinking, optimism, and incredibly positive self-esteem are called self-esteem. Acting emotionally or passively is an obvious sign of someone who does not have the necessary self-esteem. You see a person who has reached many possibilities due to his efforts and special privileges. However, he is still trying to achieve new victories. However, he still feels empty and uncomfortable. He tries to get a higher position with more possibilities. However, he is still not satisfied with his achievement and instead sees the resources of others as valuable. Such a person lacks self-esteem because self-esteem cannot be achieved with such successes. Self-esteem indicates our understanding of our conscience. We cannot have self-esteem unless we feel satisfied with ourselves. Ways to increase self-esteem. According to Dr. Wayne Dyer, the first way to increase self-esteem is reconcile with your body and soul and accept any problem or situation. First, we must reconcile with our body, the hair of our face and body, and accept it. Second, negotiate with our soul and spirit. Let us accept our every flaw and objection. Of course, we should think about resolving it, but we should not make a catastrophe out of it, and we do not need it ourselves. After reconciling with our body, soul, and mind, we reach spiritual balance. In the next stage, if we try to overcome our shortcomings, defects, or ugliness and eliminate them, we will feel satisfied and have inner beauty. This inner beauty gives us enough self-esteem. The second way to increase self-esteem is to write down your values, abilities, and possibilities and think about them constantly. How much better if you write them in good handwriting on paper and hang them in front of you or leave them somewhere you always catch your eye. In this way, you constantly practice and repeat what your strengths are. Then you feel that you have more self-esteem. The third and complementary way is to find our good qualities. Constant self-improvement helps to strengthen self-esteem. As a result, a cycle is created in which we have deep benevolence. Being kind is not just a pleasant additional advantage that makes life easier and makes us feel better about ourselves, but it is necessary. If we do not do good to ourselves, we will always devalue ourselves. And devaluing ourselves means underestimating our individuality and our ability to succeed. When we appreciate all the gifts and skills that are part of us, we acknowledge them, which leads to the growth of our gifts and abilities. In this way, we allow ourselves to use them more. One of the most important things to start with is to value what we have rather than focusing on what we do not have. Suppose we can learn to focus positively on the myriad things we have for ourselves instead of focusing on the negative image of our weaknesses. In that case, we will begin to pull the positives out of ourselves.